And to take this big story further, we are being joined by political analyst Farshidbagherian. Is joining us live from Tehran. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on WION. We are good to see you. I want to first ask you, what do you think is going to be the political implication of Haniye's killing in Iran?
Thank you very much for the invitation. The fact is, I'm so upset with Mr. Pezeshkian that the first day of his inauguration of the new government is happened with this, heinous assassination. Whatsoever of this association, it's become the first day of the new era. But the fact is, every kind of the plan for the new government that had planned before, for example, to recover the economy, to recover the relationship with the West or other countries, right now is affected by this assassination. Because the first step is for Mr. Pezeshkian and his administration, in coming days, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, is to recover what is the lack of intelligence, lack of information, lack of surveillance, lack of defense, or lack of other things. This is the very important thing that Iran is right now in the middle of making a very hazardous decision.
Right.
The decision is to hit back again Israel or not. Actually, I'm not thinking that the Israel is in the back of this assassination itself, because this is the collective operation. No government in the world can do this by himself, because they have to use the domestic power, the domestic individuals. Otherwise, you cannot find Mr. Haniye at the 2 o'clock in the early morning, and you can find out that Mr. Haniye, what is his next step in that time. So, but the day before of this assassination, about the 87 countries administrators was in Iran. Guess that if in this time, at that moment, something happened, right now we are facing, or maybe we are in the middle of the Third World War. Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Bagherian, you're making a big claim there. Just moving on a little bit from what you were saying before as well. We know that President Pezeshkian has to form his cabinet in the coming 15 days. I want to ask you, do you think what happened today is going to have bearing on that?
Regarding this assassination?
Yes, absolutely. Do you think that adds more pressure on Pezeshkian?
Absolutely, there would be some pressure. This pressure is not only by himself or by for example, by the sorrow of the lacking of the Mr. Haniye and his association in Iran as a guest. The pressure is by the army on Iran. We have, we have two official army. And this pressure is by the state itself, not government, state. Because in Iran, we have councils, different type of councils. And these councils make the decision, like in the United States, for example, CFR, Council of Foreign Relations. In Iran also, we have many councils. And these councils have their own pressure. And the hierarchy of this pressure is too much for Mr. Pezeshkian.
Right.
For that reason, I started that pity for Mr. Pezeshkian, because he started his cabinet and his career with the assassination and the lack of the information and something else. Anyway, yeah.
All right, Mr. Bagherian, very quickly, if I could ask you, there was one quote by President Pezeshkian during his inaugural speech that he was directly speaking to the Western governments, and if I could quickly quote that, he said that Iran is prepared to engage in dialogue with Western governments that have not yet understood Iran's dignity. I want to ask you, do you think Haniye's killing has burned out that bridge of dialogue?
No, I don't think so, because the reason of bringing Mr. Pezeshkian to the power is to recover the dialogue between Iran and West. The reason of being a Mr. Pezeshkian is that. So right now, maybe some power, I don't want to pronounce the power. I can, but I don't want. Some powers is not trying to make more distance between Iran and the United States, or maybe the world. It's better to say the world. Not only Iran, because the Europe is also making more distance with Iran, especially with Germany. So for that reason, some powers is not content and is not comfortable with Iran and West ties and Iran and Europe ties. This is the fact. And some powers are not fascinated with that, situation.
All right, Mr. Bagherian, thank you so much for joining us on WION and getting us your insights. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good interview. Bye.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.